Hey, welcome back to another episode of Just Call Me Josie. I am very much in the fall spirit already. So I just went through my eyeshadow collection and I picked out 5 palettes that inspire me the most at the moment and are the palettes that I think that I will be grabbing for and the ones that will get me those really grungy fall time-esque looks that I am really drawn to right now. Let's start out with the palette that I am currently wearing on my eyes. It's sort of a grungy smoky eye and I use the Colourpop Yes Please to get this look. And since this is currently in my everyday makeup drawer, I've gotten a chance to really sort of dig into this palette and figure out my thoughts about it. I personally don't really understand the thought process behind putting a white packaging in conjunction with these types of shades because you will inevitably get it really dirty. I personally prefer a palette that has everything I need in it so I don't have to grab for single shades or another palette as well. And by that I don't mean that every single palette needs to have a black and white and a cream shade and so on and so forth. I just mean that every palette needs to have some sort of deepening up shade, some sort of light shade. So I'm not someone that has to have a matte black, but I do need my deepening shades, I need transition shades, I need, you know, all that jazz. And this one definitely has it. You do need to spend a little bit of extra time layering up the red shade as well as the yellow shade, but that is to be expected with sort of any type of formula with those shades. And once you do layer them up a little bit, they look absolutely stunning. You can get them really pigmented and opaque on the eyes, which I definitely enjoy. The only shade I'm having some issues with in this palette is this Buttercup shade right here. It is quite crumbly and a little bit flaky and you sort of have to wet it to get it to really stick on the eyes and not go everywhere. So that is the only shade that I'm like, But overall, in my opinion, color story, color selection, absolutely beautiful. And if you're someone that is on a budget and you don't want to spend too much or you just don't know if you would get that much use out of these sort of more colorful fall time shades, then this could be a great option because you do get those grungy shades without having to pay that much up front. Another palette that is also currently residing in my everyday makeup drawer is the Anastacio Modern Renaissance palette. The mattes in here are definitely more pigmented than the Yes Please, but these are so softly pressed that they might end up looking a bit muddy on your eyes if you're not careful, especially like Cypress Umber and the more deeper shades. So this formula is a bit more tricky, and if you are a beginner, I would definitely suggest you going with the Colourpop Yes Please instead, because that one is a lot easier to blend out than this one. With that being said though, you can't really beat the pigmentation level of the ABH eyeshadow formula. They just really pack a punch, so if that is what you're looking for, then this one might be a better option. With this palette you have the option to go down sort of the burgundy, fuchsia, mauve route, which aren't in the Colourpop Yes Please at all. So if those are your types of tone for fall time, then I would suggest the Modern Renaissance. Those are definitely my favorite shades in this palette because they are quite unique, so I'm definitely mostly drawn to Love Letters as well as Venetian Red. Those are absolutely stunning. Next up we have the Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and this is just your traditional standard fall time warm tone eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. If you're not really feeling these sort of really intense yellow and red tone looks for fall, then this one might be a great option to look at. This one has one shade that is a bit more intense, but overall this one can give you quite a neutral everyday look as well, if that is what you're looking for. You have 6 matte over here as well as 4 varying degrees of shimmer, I would say, over here. This one is sort of matte packed with glitter. This one is super foiled and intense. This is absolutely breathtaking on the eyelids. I love this shade. And these two are also quite metallic. I have to show you the shade Liquid Center so you can get a feel for the quality of the palette. So here's a dry swatch of the Liquid Center shade from the Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and I feel like this can just totally speak for itself. I thought I might as well show you some comparison swatches, not color-wise but just formula-wise. So in the middle we have the EYESHADOW. On the bottom we have the Bling shade from the Colourpop Yes Please, and on the top we have Primavera from ABH Modern Renaissance. You can take a look at the difference right there. Why not show you a comparison of some of the matte shades as well while we're at it. In the middle we have Love Letter from ABH. On the top is Aftertaste from the Zoeva palette. On the bottom we have Big Cocktails from Colourpop Yes Please. All really pigmented and beautiful, as you can tell. Now let's move into my favorite fall time palettes that offer some pops of color as well. I couldn't help but include my all-time favorite palette ever. This is the Colorated Queen of Hearts. This is also a beautiful fall time palette. it looks like this. This color story is just so beautiful in my opinion. I absolutely love that there are some purple choices in here as well as this gorgeous cranberry shade. You also have this orange. So this is a palette you could experiment with and create some really fun and colorful fall time looks. The absolute best part of this palette is that they are including a bunch of foiled shades, and those are absolutely insane in quality. You get such a high shine metallic look on the eyelids. They are absolutely stunning, so that is why this is my all-time favorite palette. I think this is just such a well thought out palette. The only thing that I would change personally is I would make this brown a little bit deeper than this. I feel like this is not quite enough for me to deepen up a look. So for me, I would have liked to see that being a bit darker, but other than that, it is just absolute perfection. So here's a swatch of Your Majesty. That is just mind-blowing to me, as well as Ladyship from Queen of Hearts. And the last palette I chose for today's video is the Nubian 2 from Juvia's Place. This is quite a new palette to my collection, but I've been loving every single look that I've created with it so far. Like, even just looking at this packaging gets me so inspired, and I want to actually pick it up every time I see it in my drawers. I just can't help but think of a bunch of different color combination every time I pick this up. So this is definitely a really inspiring palette for myself. Actually, these two, now that I'm looking at them, look so similar. I actually didn't know that they were this similar until I swatched them. So here you have the shade Jezebel from Juvia's Place, and that is my favorite matte in the palette. It is so stunning on the eyes. And then we also have the shade Ya swatch. Ya, Y-A-A. Y'all, I don't know. So if you thought that the Queen of Hearts was a bit too expensive for your budget, then definitely maybe try out the Juvia's Place instead, because they are indeed quite similar, looking at them like this. Okay guys, so those were all of the eyeshadow palettes that I wanted to give some extra love to in today's video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you go, and also feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you on board, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Take care, until then, bye!